Hi there. Well, what we're going to go through now is how to use Pearson in this class. And some of you may have used Pearson before and you're very comfortable with it. That's fine. But for those of you that aren't, I'm in Canvas right now and we're in the modules. And again, where you can find the notes in the video. And then when you have these homework assignments due, okay, this week on January 26th, you can click on either one. It doesn't really matter. They'll both take you to Pearson. We'll click on this one here. Um, Trying to get that to go down. Let's see. So here, this will pop up, homework 3.1, My Math Lab. So we'll go there and we'll sign into your course. One box will show up. I just have a bunch of different ones. And so yours is the Math 0930. We'll click on it. And we'll go to the student view so you can kind of see what you're going to have here. Oh, I'm trying to get this. You are screen sharing. Oh, well, there it goes. All right, so again, this is kind of what you'll look at when you first get into your Pearson. This is a calendar of January where things are due, and it does matter. I'll talk about, what month you're looking at because it does have significance. You can change it to over here on the right-hand side. You can look at a day, a week, 2 weeks, a month. As far as the view goes, to me, the month is kind of nice. Above this is 0%. That right there is your grade in the class. So whenever you complete an assignment, you can look over here for your percentage. Another way to find your grade, because it's not in Canvas, is to come over here on the left-hand side and you've got a grade book. If you click on the grade book, I'll go ahead and click on it and see. It talks about, what your grade in. It segregates it out, your homework grade, quizzes, tests, other. We don't have other. And it would give you an overall percentage. Um, and then also in grade book, and we will talk about it, you can review assignments. And you may not need that for this class, but Pearson is used in almost all the math classes, and you might want to use some of these ideas I'll be explaining in other math classes as well. All right, so let's go back one. It's not letting me go back. So let's see. I'm going to go back to a course home. Yeah, let's see if it'll kick me out of the student view. It did. So we'll look at student view. All righty. So now when you're looking at your calendar, here, ignore these on the 13th. That's just when I opened up the assignments, and for some reason it puts those right there. What you're interested in is after the 13th. Here, the 26th, you have two assignments that are due, and you have to do at least one of those by the 28th, which I explained in another video, or if you don't, then you're kicked out of the class. So make sure you get one of these done. All right. I would do the Pearson orientation. It's doesn't have very many questions on it, but at least get them both done. But if you can't, things are you're too busy or whatever, at least get one of those done. All right, so you can look here, you can click on this dot and it'll open up the assignment. Another way is and probably what you'll use more often than not, is you can click on one of these to open up that particular assignment. So we have homework Pearson orientation. That's just, how to enter answers in Pearson. This is due on the 26th at midnight, by midnight. The score is 0, and there are 7 questions on this particular assignment. Homework 3.1 to 3.3, which we'll look at individually here, we'll actually click on this one, is due the 26th. I have no idea why it says 11 out of 24 questions, but it says that we've done some of them. I've done some of them, but anyways, there's 24 questions, so it kind of tells you how many questions. Don't be intimidated by the number of questions. Sometimes if there's a lot of questions, sometimes they only take 30 seconds to solve or to do. So, don't let that hinder you from doing the assignment. All right, so another way, again, to do assignments is to actually go to assignments. And if you click over here on assignments, navigating back and forth, I hope I don't take too much time. If you go to assignments, it lists the assignments and when it's due. Assignments and when it's due. It also lists your score. Okay. I don't have a time limit on assignments. I will on your proctored exams. I'll have a time limit of 2 hours, which is should be more than enough time. Quizzes, again, you have 3 attempts and it'll tell you, you've had one of three, two of three, three of three. And then Pearson will just use your best one for your total grade. Okay, and so these are the assignments that are open right now. It looks like it gets you through February 9th. You've got this quiz here to do and a quiz here. The first test over all of this is a take-home test. So you'll just take that test for a take-home test. You'll have 2 attempts on it, but I'll explain it later. It will be due the week after the 9th. But so we've got this Pearson homework Pearson orientation on how to enter answers. Let's talk about that. Let's go back to the course home. How to enter answers. This is what people don't like about Pearson. The answer has to be typed in just right, or Pearson says it's wrong. And that's what kind of gets people. We'll talk about that a little bit when we actually go through one of these assignments. But if you go below your calendar is Welcome to My Math Lab. Over here, how to enter answers. If you're struggling, you can look at this video on how to enter answers. You can click here and it will give you some ideas that may help you with this Pearson orientation, is how to enter answers. Otherwise, there's just the 7 questions. So you have, here, this is an option for learning how to enter the answers. Let's look at an assignment. Let's look at homework 3.1 to 3.3. You can click here. You can click on the dot, this one of these dots here. You can go to assignments over here to get to it. We're just going to click here. It's just slow. Got to be more patient. All right, so here are the questions. You don't have to start with number 1. You can start with any of them. Doesn't really matter. You can save it when you're done, walk away. It'll save your answers and you can come back to it later. If you want to start with number 1, you can press start or you can press number 1. Either way, we'll just press 1. All right, so then here again, this is now you can navigate within the assignment over here on the left. It goes through question, you don't have to go in order. It goes through question 24. On this particular homework problem, there was one video that did 3.1 to 3.2, and there was one video that was 3.3. Over here, if you look here, it tells you what section, just in case you're struggling with a certain problem, you would know which video to go back to by looking here. This is chapter 3, section 1, problem number 17. But this is the section, okay? You have 3.1. Oh, and then you can just over here, you can click here. Now, what happened when I just clicked here? These things showed up along the bottom, these templates. If for some reason your answer is a fraction rather than a whole number, you would have to press this first. It creates a template. You put in your answer. We could go 2 over 3. So I just kind of clicked here and clicked here. You can use arrows. 2/3 million. This is not the right answer, but I just wanted to demonstrate this right here. Here's a template for a mixed number. Knowing it's wrong, we're going to go ahead and check the answer. What happens when you miss the answer? It says it's incorrect, and then it kind of gives you a hint that might help, may not help. Keep in mind that if a point doesn't exactly match a labeled mark on the scale, it is somewhere between the two measurements. Carefully trace a line from the point for 1997 to the scale on the left. And you can just say, okay, every problem you have 3 attempts on a certain problem. So we know that's wrong, so I'm going to backspace and erase it. But now you know how to use this. Let's say that I wanted to use an exponent. What does this one mean? What does this one? So I'm going to go 3. When I press this button, this link here, see how it creates an exponent? So that's how you type in exponents. So you're probably already kind of figuring out that typing in the answers can take some time because you had to click so many of these. And we'll go 3 to the 5th. All right. 3 to the 5th is a pretty big number. That's not the right answer. All right. But you know how to use this if you ever have to do an exponent. You type in the base, press this, and it'll put a template up there. Knowing it's wrong, let's go ahead and check. Okay. It says, try again. And again, it sort of gives you some helpful hints there. So you've missed 3, or excuse me, you've missed it twice. What you can do is we have these right down here. This is a help me solve this. Now, if you click on help me solve this, it will go through this exact problem and step by step and have you fill in some things, and it'll go through it quite slowly, but it'll be this problem. And then when you're done, it'll give you another problem to try. Well, some problems have 6 parts. And if you want to know you've got all 5 of the first one parts correct. If you get to the 6th part, you probably don't want to do this because you'll have to start all over again with part 1. This is the one that's mainly used, view an example. If you view an example, it gives you an example similar to it, and then you can just press, and then over here, you can, let's see, the dealer over an 8-week period. So then here you can just press continue, and it kind of talk you through it. Sometimes it'll have some some figures over here. It's just kind of talking you through an example of how to solve it. So, it's saying, okay, week 1 is 15. Yeah, it looks like 15. Week 2, and they wanted week 8. Week 8 is, yeah, roughly around 60. So the one with the largest difference will show the greatest increase in sales. Alrighty, so let's see. So next, find the difference between each pair of weeks. The one with the largest difference will show the greatest increase in sales. Press continue. So they're subtracting to find the greatest increase in sales. The largest increase was between weeks 1 and week 2. Okay. That one, I'm not really, did they have this as a part 2? What is the predicted sales? They just wanted the predicted sales. I'm not sure why they went through the greatest difference in sales. But anyways, but if you an example, hopefully they will give you one that corresponds more to the problem it's asked for. But that's one thing you can do. Okay, final check. So what we're going to do is we're just going to guess wrong again. So what happens? We'll just do 3 million. Final check. It'll give you the correct answer was 20, and you answered 3. So what you can do, you can miss it and go on to the next one, or you can do a similar question, and it'll give you another question that marked it wrong. It's red over here. It'll give you a similar question. Let's see, what are the predicted sales for 1999? Looks like 19, so we'll put in 19. And just went over to 1999, 19. Yep, check answer. It says, well done. All right. So we had a similar, we had missed it. We did a similar question, and now it marks it correct. So now we have question number one right. So you can get 100% on every homework problem if you want to. So, I wanted to make sure you understood the similar question. Also, view an example. View an example is used quite a bit. I'm really concerned that on question number one, it was giving us a path on a question that they didn't ask. I don't know why they wanted the difference, but oh well. All righty. And also when you click, let's look at another one. Oh, this is good. Question number 8. Uh, graph an equation. So we'll be graphing some equations. This is from 3.2. So if you struggle with graphing equations, you may want to go to that section in that video for 3.2. What you can do is you click to enlarge the graph. I'm glad this came up. Now, we want to graph that equation. I'm going to move this box over so I can look at the equation, +8. Now, you can use a t-chart, or you can use the slope-intercept method. Did I use the t-chart? Yeah, I can't remember. We'll use the slope-intercept method. To draw a line, you need 2 points. So you go over here and you click on line. Okay. Pick a point. Well, we'll use a t-chart idea. If x is 0, then y is 0 plus 8, which is 8. So we have the point 0 on the x. And notice when I move my cursor, see these numbers over here, they change. So I'm going to go to 0, 8. That's one of my points if I were to use a t-chart. And click. Well, what happens if x is 1? So then we go to x is 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. So we go to 1, 9. Uh-oh, they don't have a 9. Oh, yes, they do. See 2, 9 in the yellow box. No, it's not. We wanted 1. All right, so we're going to have to, these go by 2s, 4s. So we'll have to put in 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. So if x is 2, y is 10. So then over in the yellow, we have 210. And we click. So you'll need 2 points. We had the point, we put in 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. So we went to 0 on the x, 8. And then we put in 2 because our tick marks are 2s. So we put in 2. 2 plus 8 is 10, so 210. And we did that one, but you had to click this line first. And it drew for you. So then you save it. If you did it wrong, if you clicked on something that's wrong, you can clear it here. And if you clear it, it allows you to start all over again. So then we can save and check answer. And it's right. Excellent. So then you can do the next question. So that's kind of how you can graph. All right, now here's another one to graph. Click to enlarge it. And it looks like the tick marks go 1, 2, so they're by 1. So I'm going to move it over. So then you would find 2 points. Here you click your line over here. In the notes, I go through this a lot slower. I'm just kind of going through quickly on how to do the Pearson. So if x is, I'm going to make x 0 again, just such a nice number to work with. So if x is 0, y is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So if x is 0, y is 3. So we go to 0, 3. So if you look in the yellow up there, my cursor's on 0, 3, click. Oh, I don't want to do 1, 2. I guess I could make the x a 2. If x is, and the reason I want to do 1 is that I end up with a fraction for the y. So if I make the x, oh, let's make y 0. We made x 0, now let's make the y 0. If y is 0, x has to be 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. So we have the point 6, 0. Let's do that one. 6, 0. So it kind of showed up over here. If x is 6, y has to be 0. And you clicked on it, it drew a straight line, you can save it. And then check your answer. Okay. Next question. So over here on the left, if you get them right, if they're green, if they're red, you can click on it, do a similar question and redo it. All righty? Okay, so that's pretty much the graphing. And again, you can view an example. You know, sometimes Pearson's examples are not, they're kind of difficult. And in the notes and the videos, I'll do them differently. That might be a little bit easier. So it's up to you. So they may have a different method, is all I'm saying. Let's see on these, it looks like they're choosing values for X and Y and solving it. There are other methods, and I know some of you know these methods, the slope-intercept method, X and Y intercept method, all of those we'll go through eventually. But then you can just kind of go through, continue. They're picking numbers for, just like I did, they made the X 0, they put in 0 and solve it. And then you have the point 0, 2. Then they picked another one. They said, okay, X is a negative 6. Interesting number. You know, you can choose anything. They put in a negative 6 for the X. X is a negative 6, and they solved it. Going through. And they end up with 9, negative 6, 9. So you've got 2 points, 0, 2, negative 6, 9. Now, again, this is just an example. And they have their 2 points. Pearson would connect it up. And you can just kind of keep continuing on. Looks like they're checking some other points just to make sure it falls on the line. All righty. Okay, now that's a quick lesson on the graphing and kind of navigating some of this homework. You have to allow pop-ups. If you'll notice in Pearson, there's a lot of pop-ups here, and you can't use Pearson without pop-ups. One thing maybe I should have, maybe I explained it in the video on registering. If not, then I'm just you can save it. It's a good idea to save it if you want. It usually does when you X out, it'll automatically save it, but you can save what you've done so far. And you can see you've got these green that you've gotten right on those. All righty. But you do have to allow pop-ups in order to use Pearson. Now, over here on the left, let's talk about a few things over here. You do have an e-text, all righty? And there are some of the problems where you can get help. Let's see if I can find one. I'm gonna click on 18, see what I can do. All right, get more help. I know there's a lot of these little things here. You can go to the textbook and it'll take you to the page in the textbook that will help you with this exact problem 3.3. All right. There's an animation. You can watch a video that might help you. If you do this Ask My Instructor, it will email me this question link and I can look at it if you're having problems with it. And then I might do this and take a picture and send it back to you on a piece of paper, contact you in Zoom. All right. Again, I just don't want you to spend 2, 3 hours on a homework assignment. You need to contact me if you're struggling like that. So, all righty. But anyway, so you can do the textbook as well to try to figure those out. Leave, I guess. Also, there's a multimedia library. Let's click on the multimedia library. I don't do study plans, tools for success. Let's look at this multimedia library. And again, some of these ideas you may not use in this class, but you might need them for a future class because we use Pearson in almost all the math classes. So let's say you are struggling with chapter 3, graphing. And you can't do you're struggling with 3.3, linear equations. So again, this is in the multimedia library on the left. So you pick the chapter and the section, just select all, and you can find. Because maybe you didn't like the way, find. Oh, it did find. All right. You may not have liked the way I explained it. You want some other ways of solving a problem. Well, here you've got in this chapter 3, this section, graphing a horizontal line. It'll go through an animation, uh, graphing a linear equation using intercepts. It'll have prep videos. It'll have different videos for some of these ideas. Let's see, recognizing linear equations. It's also identifying intercepts. So you can watch videos that might help you understand that concept from this section. So, which can be kind of nice. All righty. Well, I think that is kind of a quick overview. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have missed, and I can't think of anything. So you'll just have and again, this is where you spend about 90% of your time is in Pearson doing the homework and the quizzes. You might want to bookmark it. Let's go to course home. Let's go back to view student. See, I have a 13% in the class right now because of the part of the assignment I've done. All righty. Oh, I did. I can think of past due assignments. Past due assignments, it says 0, but the past due assignments is related to the month you're looking at. So if you want to know any past due assignments in January, you have to toggle over to January and it'll show them. And then you can work on those assignments for just a late grade, and it'll tell you you're getting a late grade. February, here's January 26th. Here's some things that are due on the 2nd, on the 9th. Okay. And then if you had any assignments that were late, it would show up here and they'll list them right below. And you can work on those for just a 1-point deduction, a 10% deduction. If you want to review an assignment for a test, then you need to go to Gradebook to review an assignment. If you don't, if you go to the assignment, it'll change your score. So if you go to Gradebook, you can go to Review, and it'll tell you you are reviewing your homework. Any work you do here will not change your score. So you would not want to go to Gradebook and Review if you actually wanted to get a higher grade. You would go here to review for a test, practice questions to review for a test. All right, just something I wanted to let you know for this class or for future classes. But if you want to actually work on an assignment to change your grade, then you would go to assignments. Wow. If you have any questions at all about working on this platform or working on the Canvas platform, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I would be more than willing to help you out. All righty. Well, good luck. Make sure you get those 2 assignments done this coming next week, and contact me if you have any questions at all. Thank you.